Hey, how you doing? Wow, so I'm back out in the streets of London, which feels like an absolute age. Currently at Marble Arch, which is just over there. And I want to tell you about a very significant date that has just passed. Because on the 7th of October, celebrated 5 years of me launching Benham Media. And it's been a life-changing decision. So if you're interested, grab yourself a drink, sit down and stick around. So yeah, welcome ladies and gentlemen to another video here at Benham Media, and it's an absolute pleasure to have each and every single one of you here. And yeah, it's great saying those words. It is great saying welcome to Benham Media, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's a constant reminder of how it all started and how far I have come as a creator, because on the 7th of October in 2017, I took the plunge and I launched my own company, my own production company. Now, is it exactly how I imagined it to be right now? No, not even in the slightest. When I started out with Benham Media, I had this whole idea of, you know, making my own films, making my own productions, because as an actor, I was getting bored waiting around for the phone to ring, waiting for the next big job. I was a working actor, I was enjoying myself, I was having a lot of fun, but I wasn't taking the steps that I really wanted. So in my mind, it was like, well, why don't I start my own production company? Why don't I start making my own movies? That way I can be in them, and then I can find ways of getting them out there in the world for other people to see and start recognizing me as an actual creator rather than just an actor waiting for the phone to call. But when I started, I didn't know anything. Like, I had a decent job, so I bought all the camera equipment that I needed, the lenses, the microphones, the camera, tripods, and then I sort of learned on the job. Now, one of the things that I was going to do, because in my mind, I do believe that you should be paid for work that you want to do. Even if you're offering a sort of enough money to pay for their travel, as long as whoever's working for you isn't out of pocket, it's all okay in my book. But I wanted to pay people to be in my productions, so I decided that I was going to make show reels and take headshots. So I learned how to be a photographer because of this whole scenario, and it started off quite well. It started off to be, you know, reasonably sort of lucrative, but the problem was I didn't know what I was doing. My first headshots were absolutely terrible. I thought I did a good job. I downloaded Lightroom and I just played around with colors and tried to do all sorts of things. And then the actress emailed me and she was like, oh my God, like, what have you done? Like, my skin tone looks terrible. Everything's unfocused. This is just wrong. Now, I will say I did these for free because I wanted to gain experience. So I wasn't really sort of charging people at the time, but she was correct. They were absolutely terrible. So I had to go away, I had to learn, and that's where I started to discover this whole new world that is YouTube. I watched YouTube videos on how to edit photographs. That's when I discovered the likes of the people like Peter McKinnon, Chris Howell, Matty Hippier, and Sam, the Optical Wonder. And then all of a sudden, my whole sort of spectrum sort of expanded and grew. And that's when I started realizing there was a lot more to this setup than just grabbing my camera and shooting things. But I'm currently in Hyde Park at the moment, and it is huge, and it's a beautiful day. And I've just looked at my screen and realised there's a huge, great big gap above my head, which is not necessarily ideal. Benham Media now, and how different is it from what I originally planned? Well, it's sort of similar, but there are so many more levels to it to what I first thought it was going to be. Is it this multi-million pound film industry giant? No, it's not. No, not at all. Not even close. But it is slowly becoming a successful photographer business and a sort of quite a popular YouTube channel. And even though straight off the bat I did go out, and I'm lucky enough to have Phoenix with me, who is a professional model, so I could take her out and practice being a photographer for the portfolio shots, for the headshots. And we did eventually actually go out and shoot our first film, which was Pulled Into Focus. Now, it wasn't really much. It was more of a glorified music video, if I'm completely honest. But it did give me the sort of experience that I needed to start making the show reels and the headshots that I wanted to do. And I sort of carried on doing that for a while. And that was all that I was happy with. I didn't want to do anything else. Yeah, after watching a fair few YouTube videos and seeing how these people do it, I toyed with the idea of starting my YouTube channel, and eventually, after about 2 years, I did. So the YouTube channel is just over 3 years old now, and it has opened so much more than what I could have possibly have dreamed. But the thing is, the YouTube channel wouldn't have happened if I didn't start Benham Media. I've made quite a fair few show reels now. I've got some decent reviews, and people seem to be quite happy with my work. But one of the wonderful things that YouTube did for me was it kept me sane. As we all know, we suffered a sort of global lockdown pandemic where people couldn't go out. And where a lot of my friends who were in the industry, when it completely shut down, they didn't quite know what to do with themselves. And YouTube saved me. For me to have to want to get up every single week and create a video. And a lot of that is also down to the Optical Wonder. Watching his videos when he's stuck in his little flat, he made and created content to keep his mind focused. And it's exactly what I needed. So after watching his videos and getting inspired by the likes of other YouTubers, I found more ways to keep myself occupied, and it was also a great way for me to hone my trade, not as a photographer, but also as a content creator. So it evolved, it carried on. And I'm currently at a stage at the moment where I'm about this weekend going to shoot my second film, which is going to be under my umbrella, all completely mine, and it has given me the inspiration to sort of to shoot myself forward. And yeah, it has been a crazy few years, because also throughout lockdown I got really depressed about my photography. And yeah, it was great shooting things in my studio, but I wanted to do more. And that's when Phoenix, probably more out of frustration because I was just constantly whinging her ear off about I don't know what to do anymore, she told me to go out and start street photography. Now, street photography for me was never an option. I never thought about doing it. Like, what is interesting about shooting buildings, about shooting people in the street? And after a few months, I gained a love for the craft. I have gained a sort of respect of seeing things differently to what other people do. So again, it has evolved my view on this entire content creator platform, and it has probably excelled my YouTube channel in a direction that it was never going to go in, and it has become successful because of that. And because of doing this, I have met some sensational people from all over the world. Not necessarily in person, but through Instagram, I am friends with people who I've never even met before. That eventually I would like to go to other cities around Europe, around the world, and meet these people face to face. And in the past, when I've actually bumped into these people at events or when we've arranged meetups in London, it feels like I've known these people forever because of the community that comes with being a creator. And yeah, so it's exceeded my expectations by the sheer decision of starting Benham Media. probably asking yourself, Nathan, why are you telling us all this? And the answer is pretty simple. As an actor, I always wanted to be more. I didn't want to just act, I wanted to make my own productions, I wanted to make my own films, but I never really had the confidence to do so because not only is it a lot of hard work, but also the knowledge behind creating something like that is quite big. It's not simply sort of like picking up a camera, it needs to be the right type of camera, it needs to have a little bit of knowledge about editing, about this, about that. So I always said, next time, next time, next time. Now, past relationships haven't necessarily been the best. Even though I was a working actor, past relationships I've always wondered, when am I going to give up this sort of hobby and get a real job? But I am now lucky enough to be within a relationship who supported me, who sort of said, don't worry about the what ifs. Don't worry about the can I's. Just do it. If you fail, you fail, but at least that way you've tried. And this is the biggest sort of message that I want to sort of come across in this video. I did it, and it's such a celebration that it's lasted for 5 years, considering everything that's happened, not only to me personally, but also within the changing world around us, that I took the punt, that I took the effort. I stopped saying next time, next time, next time, and I bought what I needed. Yeah, it was expensive, but at the end of the road, it's mine now. I get to keep this. I don't need to give it back to anybody. So it was an investment that was worth making. And even though I didn't know anything about the whole process of photo editing or film editing or how to block or how to direct, I knew that I could learn. I knew I had it in me to make sure I knew exactly what I was doing. So that's it. That's the message that I want to give you all you guys today, is that if you have something that you want to do, what's stopping you? Do you want to be a photographer? Do you want to be a filmmaker or an actor or even a YouTube content creator? Why do you keep saying next time? Is it financially? Maybe. I know that some things cost money, but there's always a way around that. If you put your own blocks in the way, then it's only you that's stopping yourself. Now I'm going to end this video quoting Sam Ryder. Now if you don't know who Sam Ryder is, he is the gentleman that represented the United Kingdom in the Eurovision Song Contest this year. And what he said on the Graham Norton show the other day was quite inspiring. Now I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't know it sort of word for word, but what he was asked was quite simply that considering the history that Great Britain has within the competition, technically by the rules, we shouldn't even be in it anymore. Why do you decide to carry on doing it? And his response was pretty much, he's always enjoyed the Eurovision. He always was a fan of Eurovision Song Contest. So when the opportunity for him to be in it arose, it was too much of an opportunity for him to miss. And even though that there was a high chance that because of the politics that goes around the competition itself, that he might end dead last. He would probably potentially kick himself if he didn't actually give it a go. So why be afraid of failure if you haven't yet failed? And he went away and he did it, and he got the highest points tally that the country's ever had. Only came second because of the public vote, and the Ukraine pipped us at the last moment. So that's inspiring. That whole sort of thing is, why be afraid to fail if you haven't tried and failed yet? Apart from that, guys, that's it for this video. Happy 5th birthday to Benham Media, and I look forward to the next 5 years and what that creates. But if you have enjoyed this video and it has sort of spurred you on to go out and do what you want to do, please give it a like just down there. It will take you seconds out of your day. And if you haven't yet, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, because, every little helps. Until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, week, month, whenever it is that you are watching this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.